Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Khoj Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. The recitation is Maj Mahalla Panjwa. Soi Karna, Aap Karai, Jitthai Rakhe, Sa Pali Jaye. Soi Siana, So Patavanta, Hukam Lage Jis Meetha Jiyo. Sab Paroi Kat Dhagai, जिस लाए लय सो चरनी लागै ऊंद कवल जिस होए प्रगासा तिन सरब निरंजन डिठा जियो तेरी महिमा तू है जान है अपना आप तू आप पछाण है हाउ बलिहारी संतन तेरे जिन काम क्रोध लोभ पीठा जियो तू निर्वैर संत तेरे निर्मल जिन देखे सब उतर है कमलमल नानक नाम त्याय त्याय जीवे बिन सिया परम पौ डीठा जियो. Taking the Shabad from the top with a free form translation. Soi siana so patavanta hukam lagya jis meetha jiyo. The wise and the honorable cheerfully accept the writ of hukam, that is to say, the ebb and flow of life. Soi Karna, Aap Karai. Such individuals act in harmony with their surroundings. Jitthai Rakhe, Sa Pali Jaye. And in whatever circumstance they're placed, they find it acceptable. Jitthai rakhe, sab pali jaye. So the starting message right here is the wise and the honorable learn to accept life and whatever it throws at you. Und kaval jis hoye pragasa then sarab niranjan ditha jiyo. So the heart in which wisdom dawns, that heart then begins to see or discern the all-pervasive and eminent light that strings creation together. Sarab paroi ikat dhagai. Jis laye lay so charni lage. So first, there is the dawning of wisdom, Und Kamal. Und Kamal stands for inverted lotus. Lotus symbolizes enlightenment in the Indian system of thought, spiritual thought, that is. So when the lotus is inverted, it signifies just the opposite, the state of ignorance. So here it says, Und Kamal jis hoye pragasa, that is to say, where the kaval becomes straight, that is to say, the heart where wisdom dawns, or the mind that becomes enlightened. It discerns the all-pervasive and eminent light. Tin sarb niranjana ditha jiyo. And then, what is it that is seen? Sab paroi ikat dhagai. Hukam strings that creation together. And that is what enables the wise and the honorable to live in harmony with creation. Jis laye lay so charni lage. That's the idea. And then the Guru says, How balihari santan tere. I submit to the perfected ones. Tere, who belong to you, the ones who are enlightened, the ones where the inverted lotus has straightened out or flowered. Because they have, by virtue of having crushed or mastered their baser instincts, they are one with you or belong to you. Jinn Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Pitha Jio. Pitha is to pulverize, which means such individuals who are being called the perfected ones here, the Santan, have actually mastered their baser instincts. And so the Guru is saying, I submit to these perfected ones. Now that is a message to us that we need to seek individuals who are on the path or who have perfected awareness. Surely there have to be such people. So one learns. This is the idea of being mentored by someone. And then, Teri Mehma, tu hai janne. You alone know your stature. To these individuals, you reveal yourself. Apna aap, tu aap pachane. That's the process. So there is this condition of mastering the baser instincts, because this is all about personal mastery. And it begins with conquering Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Mohankar. Some of them are listed here. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Pitha Jio. Tu nirvair sant tere nirmal. You are free of enmity. In other words, you're amicable. You have no opposition. You have no contradictions inside you. And likewise, the perfected ones who have developed this discernment, they are unblemished as well. Tu nirvair sant tere nirmal. Jin dekhe sab utre kalmal. Jin dekhe. Dekhe is to see. But the idea here is an exchange with those people. After all, you're interacting with them. You're not just staring at them. You're interacting with them. So you need to have an exchange with these individuals who are on the path, the perfected ones. And what does that do? Sab utre kalmal. It cleanses the perception. In other words, they show you the path to enlightenment. They help you see straight, so to speak. And essentially what is happening is, Nanak naam te aaye jive, bin se param pau ditha jiyo. This is where you end up. Says Nanak, by becoming constantly aware of the self within, the delusion, param. What is that delusion? Of a separate self. That delusion is removed. And you live in a state of constant awareness of the self, which is the goal, which is the fulcrum from which we want to operate in life. So let's see what takeaways can we carry from this Shabad. The first thing that comes to mind is say yes to life. Because if you notice, the Guru is saying, So syane, so patwante, hukam lage jis meetha jiyo. Well, that means say yes to life, regardless of what life throws at you. But just remind you, Guru Arjan, who's composed this Shabad and whose martyrdom we'll be celebrating very shortly, was a living example of walking in hukam. We all know that he was tortured over a period of days, strapped to a pole in the open sun for hours on end, denied sleep and water, forced to sit on a sizzling griddle while burning sand was poured all over his body, and then he was dipped in boiling water. And when the body could endure no longer, he was tied up and drowned in the river Ravi. And tradition tells us that despite all this, his last words were, Tera pana meetha lage, sweet is thy will. That is the mark of a truly enlightened one. And in fact, Guru Arjan in another place says, he alone who knows the will, and Jan Nanak jin hukam pachata, Prabh Sahib ka pet pachata, will know the secrets of the Creator or of Hukam. So therefore, we have to walk in Hukam, understand the secret of Hukam, which is the law of change and impermanence. And what is the secret? That it is immutable and always follows its course, regardless of what you or I think or what you and I want. So the takeaway is, stop fantasizing, stop projecting your fantasies onto the world, and ground yourself in reality. Because that's what we do mostly. We want things to appear or to be the way we want them. We refuse to accept the way things are. And that is where our dysfunctionality begins. And third, remember, Hukam is not some dogma or belief to hang on to. Sikhi is not based on faith. It is based on experience. Hukam is an evolutionary principle. So by aligning with Hukam, use its workings to constantly evolve and empower yourself. Because aligning with Hukam means being alert at every moment. It's not about becoming rigid and stupid by just hanging on to dead beliefs. No, it's about living in the moment with Hukam, which is constantly churning. So you have to understand how it works. On that note, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.